Hi everyone! Today we are going to be answering the essential question of what are statistics? Well, statistics are, or statistics is, a science of collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data. So when we are looking for statistics, we are actually in math studying a science that helps us to collect, organize, analyze, and interpret the data. So statistics is a science that collects, organizes, and interprets data. So when we're looking at statistics, we're actually studying science of data. So we're looking at data points. We're going to be collecting, organizing, interpreting. We forgot analyzing and analyzing the data. All right. So in statistics, we use things called statistical questions. And statistical questions have more than one answer. So, for example, how many countries start with the letter Z? Because there's only one answer to that question, you can count up every country in the world and get one answer. That one is not statistical. But if you were to ask the question, how much do pretzels cost in a grocery store? That question is a statistical question because I could go to Target and Walmart, I could go to Fred Meyer, and I could collect all the different prices on pretzels and have many different answers. So within statistics, we're going to collect data on statistical questions. And these are questions with more than one answer. So because they have more than one answer, it is considered a question that will collect data. So statistical questions are questions with more than one answer. So let's go ahead and write down an example here. A non-example is how many states are in the U.S. Okay, that one is a non-example. That one has one answer, and the answer is 50, right? There's 50 states. An example of a statistical question, an example of it would be, how much do pretzels cost? This one is yes, because we can go to various stores and get lots of examples for how much they cost. Okay, so statistics is the science that collects, organizes, analyzes. Let's go ahead and add analyze up here. Analyzes and interprets data. So using the data, statistical questions have more than one answer, like how much do pretzels cost? Oh my goodness, I forgot my S. Okay, so now that we know about statistics and statistical questions, let's talk about what else we use within statistical questions or statistics. Well, within statistics, we use some different graphs. So we use lots of different graphs when we are graphing. So we can graph statistical questions using dot plots. Okay, so we're going to graph, so statistics is shown on a graph. So statistical data is shown on a graph. So after we collect all of the data, we show it on a graph. And one type of graph that we're going to show it on is a dot plot. So dot plots are number lines that represent the number of times that the data has been used. And we look at the different ways that the data is spread or that the data is distributed. So we're going to look at using a dot plot. Okay, so dot plots. Dot plots are just graphs that use a number line. Okay, and then from there we can go back and we can analyze, organize, and interpret what the graph is showing. So let's look at a piece of data, and let's say that you are recording the temperatures every single day while you are at summer camp. Okay, so let's say you go to summer camp and you are recording your data every single day. The data is the temperature. And the temperature reaches on different days many different things. So let's say that one day it's 87 degrees. Maybe another day it's 86. On the next day, let's say that it's 84. And then it goes back up to 87 degrees. And then it drops all the way down to 80. Maybe it's 82 degrees 2 days in a row. And maybe again we are at 87 degrees. Okay, so notice all the data happens to be in the 80s. But we can graph this on a number line to determine how many times the data happens. So we're going to create a dot plot, and our dot plot is going to use these values in order to graph them. So we have an 80, and we could say we go all the way up to 90. So 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 90. So 81 degrees, 82, 83, 84, 85 degrees, 86 degrees, 87, 88, and 89 degrees. Okay, so our job now is to graph this data on a dot plot. And a dot plot uses just what I was saying, which are dots. So we're going to use dots to graph our data. So we're going to use dots, and we're just going to go through and put the data where it goes. So first one is 87. We're going to put a dot. 86 is next. There's another dot. 84 is here. And then we have 87 again. So we're just going to stack that dot right on top. Next is 80. Then we have 82. We have another 82. So again, we're going to stack that dot. And then we have an 87 one more time. So I've gone through, I've put all of the dots on my dot plot, and all of these represent the temperatures of summer camp. So now we could ask ourselves, what was the highest temperature in August? Well, the highest temperature a statistical question, or from interpreting the graph here, what was the highest temperature? Well, when we were at camp, the highest temperature reached 87 degrees. And it reached it 3 different times. We could also answer the question of what was the lowest? So the lowest temp was 80 degrees. We could also say, what was the range in temperatures? What was the range of temperatures in August? Well, at summer camp in August, it was between 80 and 87 degrees. So 80 to 87 degrees. So you can use the data that you've collected, put it on a dot plot, and then after that, you can answer various questions to help you use the data. So I would like for you to do a dot plot, and we're going to do an example together. So you're going to do your try it, and your try it, I'm going to give you the data points, and I would like for you to please graph it on a dot plot. Okay, so here is your try it. Your try it is asking the question, what is the mass of a typical mouse? All right, the data that you collect is 20, 18, 28, 20, 19, 19 again, 20, 23, 21, and 27. All right, so you have a mouse, you have typical mice, and they've all been weighed, and we want to know what is their mass in grams. So your job now is to take this information and turn it into a dot plot, and then I want to know, we'll go back and we'll talk about that at the end. So go ahead and graph this. Hit pause right now so that you don't hear me talking, and then when you're ready, go ahead and hit play. All right, so we're going to create a dot plot, and our range goes anywhere from 18 to 28. So 18 grams, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. So we're just going to go through, relabel all these. 21, 20, and 19. And now our job is to go through here and we are going to put some dots. So my first data was 20, so you should have put 1 dot at 20. The next one is 18, and then 28, another 20, so we're going to stack that right on top. 19, another 19, another 20 gram mouse. We have a 23. Ooh, look at 23. A 21 and a 27. Oh my goodness, why did I do that? That should have been a dot, not a 23. I'm so sorry. Make that into a dot right there. My apologies to you. Okay, so we're gonna now look at this. First, I want you to check, how did you do on graphing? Were you able to graph this without writing 23? Maybe. Hopefully you put a dot there, not a big giant dot like mine. But now that you've graphed, we're going to take this and we're going to just look at a couple things. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to look at is that we have a peak and a cluster. So when we're looking at this data, we have a couple different things that we're looking at. First of all of this together right here, this is called a cluster because all of the data is clustered together. It's in a clump. Okay, this is all in a clump. So you've got data all together. Okay, we also have a peak. Okay, our peak happens right here. That's our peak. And the peak is where the data goes up and then starts to drop again. So that is our peak, just like the peak of a mountain. Okay, so the data goes up to a high spot. And then last but not least, we have a gap. So we have a gap in this data. And our gap in this data happens right here between 24 and 26. This is a gap where we have no data. Okay, and then we have some of these mice out here that are 27 pounds and 27 grams and 28 grams. So when we're looking at these graphs, not only can you take the data, put it on a dot plot, but then you can analyze it by looking, okay, well, most of these mice fall between the range of 18 to 21. We have one mouse out here at 23, and then we have two mice way out here on the end. But the most of our data happens right here at 20 grams. Okay? All right, go ahead and answer your essential question now. What are statistics? So you're going to answer that essential question. So tell me, what do you know about statistics? And then go ahead and put your level of understanding out to the side. Where are you at right now with your learning? 1, I have no idea what you're doing, Miss Englander. I just saw you write a bunch of numbers and put some dots on a page. Maybe you're at a 2 right now, where you understand that we can use data to graph it, but then maybe you still need some practice. I know I need some practice with making my dots and being careful with my data. Or maybe you're at a 3. Maybe you understand that statistical questions have more than one answer. Maybe you're at a 3 because you are able to accurately graph and read those graphs and you know how to use dot plots. So go ahead and rate your level of understanding here. And then when you are finished, you may either come back to the Google Meet and ask for help if you need it, or you can go and do your practice work. As always, I appreciate all of your hard work and effort, and make it a great day.